Welcome to the Trading Empire CR7. Hope everyone is doing good. So you can hear my voice is not well clear, but we can't stop what we started. So now we have to do pre-market analysis and trading ideas so that we can see what are we going to be focusing on next week. So guys, we're going to talk about GBP USD, Euro USD, GBP GPY, dollar index, and the King Gold. So stay here and then we focus on what we are looking for next week. So now let's go straight on that chart and start from GBP GPY or GJ. Okay, now this is the time to go. Okay, let us start from the higher time frame where we talk about a little bit. Remember, we're focusing on the bullish continuation from the previous month, even all this year. Okay, let me remove everything so that you can see. So we are still in the uptrend from the downside to the upside. We are still targeting these areas. Okay, this one at least around this area. That's our target. So we got there, but now we are still need to focus on the higher time frame, even from there. This is weekly time frame around this area, but from the left hand side, let me check from here. We have these areas. Okay, so that's why our focus is to continue bullish. That's the weekly time frame. Okay, so from there, that's the target, but we have to make sure that as long as we are targeting those areas, we need to make sure that if we get an imbalanced areas, if we have some imbalanced areas, we can create a deep pullback to go to the downside a little bit. So then we go back to the upside as the trend continuation, bullish trend continuation. So now let me check from the daily time frame from this area. As you can see that we broke the structure, all this entire structure, this one, okay. This area was broken and then we started rejecting from this area. This was, then the target will be around 224.165. So that's where we are targeting right now. So as long as we broke the structure, we need an uptrend continuation above this area. So that's why if we stay above this area, remember we are still in the higher time frame. If we stay above this area, okay, we need to make sure that we are trying to find some areas to buy from as the confirmation from the lower time frame to target this area. So then now let's move to the lower time frame to see if we stay above this area, where are we gonna be buying from so that we can make money from next week, because my focus now is on GJ also. Okay, for our time frame. Okay, for our time frame, remember last week we talked about an area which is imbalanced, but you can see that we broke this structure or this entire structure from the higher time frame, but this area from the downside was imbalanced. This one, let me show you. This area was imbalanced, but we are still above this area. Remember, this was a supply, but we got multiple retracement from this area. Okay, you can see this is an equal low. We have triple bottoms. Then around this area, that's where we're expecting a retracement from this area. Then we can continue moving up. So we are going to see all of that from the lower time frame. Okay, now 1 hour time frame. Okay, we have this area from the inverse head and shoulder. So this is lower low, lower high, lower low, high to the low, high to the low, higher high. We need the higher low from this area. That's what we were waiting for from that area. This was an entry. If we make a retracement from this area so that we can continue moving up from here, but we also again made a retracement from this area. Let me check it from the 30-minute time frame where we rejected from last week. You can see this was an area, so we can say this is an equal low around this area. So if we stay above this area, what do we need to make sure that we can take a buy? Remember, this area is an imbalance, this one, so we either buy from this area or buy around this area, the way I'm going to be talking about. Okay, so now we are from the 30-minute time frame. We have these equal lows from this area. We can say that we have also multiple rejection from the high, this one, where we need to break so that we can continue in the uptrend. If we stay above this area, let's say if we stay above this area, we need the market to start. Let me just first talk about this one. We have this area, this one. We can move down like this. Then we start creating another structure from this area so that we can continue upside. We need more confirmation from there. Okay, like this. If we break below this area, we need to make a retracement from this area. Then we need higher high, start breaking above these highs. So from the higher low, either from this area or this area, we are going to be entering for buy, anticipating the market to continue moving up. Okay, so if we stay above this small structure that we have around this area, we need also to break above these areas so that if we create a higher low from here or here down, we can enter for buy around those areas. So that's where I'm expecting to be buying from, or if we break below this area, it will be better to enter from this area, anticipating the market to continue moving up. So what am I looking for? From this area, I need the same structure, or I'm expecting the same structure if we break below this area as this formation. I will say I need this formation from around this area. I need the market to move down from this area so that we can take a buy from this area, and then we start creating high highs and higher low where we can get another opportunity to be entering for buy. So that's what I need to see from GJ, as long as we are staying above this area. So I'm still looking for buy. If anything change next week, we'll be together so that I can give you some updates, and then we focus just on buying opportunities. If we break below this area, so aggressive pullback, now we are going to be waiting from this area. Okay, that's what I can say from GBP, GPY, or GJ. Now let's move to Euro USD. Last week was just amazing from Euro USD and GBP USD, but it was so tough from Monday, where we struggled so much from Euro USD. But at the end of the day, as we were expecting a reversal from the upside to the downside, we had continued to move downside. So remember, we talked about this, as long as we are creating lower lows and lower high, but we are still looking for sell to continue with the trend. Okay, so let me remove everything. So this is what happened. The market was so aggressive around this area. Remember last week, the market was moving back to this area, moving to the lower time frame, 1 hour time frame. I can see that. Okay, you can see we're expecting to buy, to take a sell around these areas, but we struggled so much to take this sell. But at the end of the day, we got some areas to be taking a sell from. Okay, this is an equal high, higher high, equal high from this area. This is from our supply area, higher low, high, low, lower low by breaking the previous low. Then from the lower high, you can take a buy from a sell from this area by trusting this area. So then low to the high, this is an entry. Lower low, stop loss is above this area. Lower low to the lower high, someone maybe try to enter from this area to someone who trade break and retest. But if we wait from this area, also this is a sell from this area, okay, around this area. Then lower low to the lower high, to the low to the high, this is an entry. Let me move to the 30-minute time frame. Okay, this is an entry. We talked about that. Okay, also we broke below this area. We entered from around this area, anticipating the market to move down. So remember, I talked about, I've been telling you about GBP USD and Euro USD, the way they move, the way they break structures, and we end up forming some kind of another, this one. You can see this choppy from around this area. This is a new structure where you start breaking it, and then from the high to the low, then you start entering from the lower time frame around these areas. So that's how they move. Most of the time they break the structure, as long as you are waiting for a pullback to balance these areas, but the market continue lower lows from those areas. So you have to check from the lower time frame so that you can get some confirmation to enter from there, so that you cannot miss the trade. Okay, so what are we looking for now? For our time frame, what is our target? First, we are looking for sell. Secondly, we need to confirm the target now, so that the third thing you are going to talk about is where we're going to be entering for sell from. Okay, so now this is an area nearby. This one, this is an area to target. Okay, we are from the 4-hour time frame. We have this area which is imbalance. Around this area, we are going to check about that from the lower time frame. And also we have this area where we can make a retracement from, so that we can go for sell. That's from the 4-hour time frame, where we can expect to enter from those areas. But remember, we have to check from the lower time frame, and we have to enter after a confirmation, because as long as you enter from this area, say around this area, this is going to be a huge risk, because you need a strong confirmation, because you still have this area which is imbalance, where we can also continue moving up. Then we take a sell from this area, and then we continue moving down. So from there, let me show you from the lower time frame where we can expect to be taking a sell from. Lower time frame, 1-hour time frame. Okay, we are still around those areas. Let me just focus on 30-minute time frame to see where we're gonna be selling from tomorrow. Okay, so we can see, let me just focus from these two areas. We have this area, this one, okay, to take a sell from. But remember also, possibly we can also enter from around this area. We have this candlestick, this one, this small bullish. This can be also an area to take a sell from, but remember the stop loss will be above around this area. So it will all depend on how the market, if we move up, how are we going to be reacting from those areas. So from the downside, where I'm expecting to be taking a sell from, around this area, that's where I'm expecting to be taking a sell from. So now what I wish to see in the market, I want the market to move up, okay, balance this area, then I'm going to be entering for sell from around those areas, anticipating the market to continue downside, and my target is around the previous area that I was talking about, this one. Okay, so this is an area I'm expecting to target next week. Okay, for our time frame, that's why you can see where this target. So I'm still expecting the market to continue downside. If you entered from around these areas and you are still holding, you are going to make a record by holding a trade for so long so that you can make money in the market, which will be a very big profit. So now let's move to the GBP/GPY. Okay, the same scenario from Euro USD. From higher time frame, we start from there. From the higher time frame, we were expecting a bearish reversal, the same scenario as Euro USD. I will not talk about back. So I'm going to talk about what are we focusing on next week, because we are expecting to keep selling. So where are we targeting first? Okay, remember last week we took some, we took sales from around, I think it was around these areas, and then we continued moving down. So now what is the target from 4-hour time frame? Let me check from there. We have this target, this one. Okay, checking from the other side, around this area, maybe around these areas, because we are still from the higher time frame. Okay, let me check. Did you make any reaction from those areas? Okay, we are so close around this area. What am I expecting from here? I have also two areas to focus on. I will focus on this area and even this area, this one. These are two areas I'm going to be focusing on. Okay, from the lower time frame, this is 1-hour time frame. Okay, I'm looking for sell from this area. And I also have the same scenario from the Euro USD. This area which was activated, I will leave it. So also from GBP USD, we are around from the area where we can take a sell from. So if we reject from this area, because the market is about to open, is the new market, so we need to make sure that we make better decisions. So I'm not saying that if you see a bearish candlestick from this area, enter the market. No. Just from the lower time frame, wait for more confirmation. We need the market to react from this area, creating a lower low by breaking these lows. So then from the lower high, we can take a sell from around those areas, anticipating the market to continue moving down. Okay, this is the target downside here, but also these are areas to expect a reaction from. So I'm expecting to be taking a sell from this area. If we stay below that area, okay, this is what I need to see. And also if we continue moving up, okay, I'm gonna be waiting from this area, anticipating the market to also continue bearish. So I'm gonna send this everything clear from the Trading Empire CR7 WhatsApp channel so that everyone can see this, and even the Trading Focus CR7 group. So that's what I'm expecting from GBP USD. I'm expecting to be taking a sell from tomorrow, but I have to wait from an area that I was talking about so that to be safe and start a new week with the great results. So now, dollar index, we have been in bullish position. Remember we talked about that. Remember the target was around this area. Let me check from the higher time frame and show you. Okay, this is an area where we are targeting now. From the higher time frame also again, where are we going now? We rejected from the low. We're expecting the market to continue moving bullish. Maybe we can target now around these areas. Lower time frame again back. Let's see. This is the target, this is the target. So it's a matter of where I'm now going to be entering from to take a buy. Okay, so you can see this line around this area, or if we move back around this area, okay, we can make a adjustment from this area so that we can move up again by anticipating the market to target these areas. Or if we stay above this area, moving to 30-minute time frame, okay, we have this area. We have also this area here. Those are all areas where we can make a adjustment and still looking for buy. So from around this area, and that's what I'm expecting from next week, I'm expecting to move down a little bit. Then we start moving up again and target this area. Then from there, another week we are going to continue creating higher highs and higher lows so that we can continue to target until we get to this area. So the last one, we are still bullish from dollar. So Trump is trying to make sure that the dollar is getting stronger because they have been fighting with an inflation. And you can see now, as Jerome Powell was trying to rise interest rates every moment, it was like a disaster on the dollar. And even from now, it's not about the dollar rising up. The problem on the population of the US, that was a problem where the people are struggling with the jobs, with an inflation. So now they are trying to bring it back. And now our friend Jerome Powell is about also to be ending his era in the board in the Fed. So now we can say that Trump is trying to work with the different countries, China and even others, so that he can still try to lowering inflation, so that where they're trying to cut the rates, you can see last I talked about that. I was expecting Jerome Powell to be lowering some rates, so that's what happened. So now, sometimes the prediction from the interest rate, it's very easy because of Trump. Most of the times when his pressure on Jerome Powell tried to cut those rates. So now that's why we're expecting the dollar to keep strength to move up. And from the other side, gold will be fighting with the dollar, because now you can see gold in the up is moving up, but also at the same time from dollar index also the dollar is moving up. So that's the problem of gold now is very, very stronger. So from Euro USD, GBP USD, they have to move down as long as the dollar is stronger and strength to continue bullish continuation. So last not least, that is the King Gold. Okay, last week that was also a drum, because we have been fighting with trying to buy. Yes, we have made a lot of profits from buying positions, but also from those areas we're expecting also anytime we can move down as a deep pullback. So I will just talk about that. Remember, we are targeting this area. At the first time we were expecting the market, maybe we can go deep down, move down to balance this area, or we can make a retracement or equal lows around these areas. So that's why we're expecting the market, maybe we are going to move down to this area, then we can buy from that area. So but we got an opportunity to make money in the market. Remember, as long as the market changes, we try to give you some updates. Okay, so now where are we standing now? Remember, we rejected from the low from this area. Let me just check from the lower time frame to see this reaction, where this reaction from. Okay, from around this area. You can see this is a 30-minute time frame. This was a reaction from this area, this one. Okay, so that's where we moved up from. So there's a high probability we can even go deep to balance around these areas. That's why, as long as we are still in the uptrend continuation, we have to make sure that as long as we get some signs of the pullback, we have to stay focusing on how the market is changing, so that maybe if we are focusing on buy, you can stay away and wait for a better opportunity to buy those areas which are stronger as you are expecting an uptrend continuation. So now, what happened? The reaction from that area and then rejected from that area. Okay, then we tried to make higher highs and higher low. Okay, we made an equal low from this area. We got a buy from this area. We bought. We did take some area, some entries around this area also. Remember, from the 15-minute time frame. Then we went down again around this area. Remember, we did take a sale around this area. Then again, back from this area, we started looking for buy. High to the low, equal low around this area. Higher high around this area, internal area. That's where also we got an opportunity to be taking a buy from this area. Equal lows, we struggled so much around this area, but we continued moving up. So where are we standing now? This is where our target, but the problem now is we have this structure which is like the same as the structure. What if the market changed its mind and move down, like what happened here? You can see we broke below, we continue. Maybe we can go like this, we continue moving down. So we have to focus on how the market is going to change next week so that we can make better decisions. If we're focusing on buy, but we are still rejecting around this, around this area, that's a problem. We need to break the structure so that we can make sure that we are continuing the uptrend. So from there, let me remove everything now. Okay, we have this low. Okay, this low, and we have also equal highs around these areas. Okay, let's say we have those equal high. Okay, internal areas. We have this area where we reacted from last Friday, and we have all these areas. So now, what am I expecting from gold? Let me remove this one. Now, if we stay below this area, I'm going to be looking for sell. How? These are the areas to be taking a sell from. This one. Okay. Because we started creating low to the high, lower low by breaking the previous low, maybe we can make a reaction also again around this area. Then we move down to balance, or yes, balance at least around this area, equal low. Then we can also look for buy around this area to see if we can move up around this area. So that's what I'm looking for. When am I buying from this area? I will buy if we move down to this area. Okay, but my target will be around these areas. When am I expecting to be buying above this area? Also again, if we break a structure, this one, if we continue, I will say, okay, now we have this area. If we continue above this area, I'm looking for buy. If we break above this area, high highs, and then I need the creation of another structure so that you can continue moving up. So from now, gold, you have to be careful from tomorrow. As long as we are staying below this area, we can expect sell. I can expect sell rather than buying opportunities. So guys, that's where we can stop from. And we are live on the trading focus on Bitcoin, and we are doing well. But remember, in the weekend, we have kind of low volume from BTC because the market is now closed from the forex traders. That's why the volume is low. They are in the weekend. The dollar also is not working. Is maybe we have some kind of low volume also from the dollar index. So now, guys, remember, subscribe on this channel. Focus on the trading focus. Let's work together and see how we can make money in the market. So thank you so much for your time. Until next time, take care and be safe. Ciao.